Do you think it's time to recognize a Palestinian state?
I think that's a profound question that arouses a lot of the biggest problems that have happened with Israel's survival, Israel's right to survival in the diplomatic scene.
Oh, what a jerk. What an unbearable piece of crap.
Wow.
That is a profound question that arouses sentiments about the destruction of Israel? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It asks you whether the Palestinians can exist.
He's just so pathetic.
When you pretend that Israel might not exist, when they're a nuclear power, when they have Iron Dome, when they're the most protected nation on earth, and you're pretending the Palestinians are the villains, the aggressors, and that Israel might not exist, when they ask you a goddamn question about whether the Palestinians can exist. And your answer, let me translate it for you, is I get a lot of money from AIPAC and the Israeli lobby. So I will never allow the Palestinians to exist if you elect me, because I serve like a AIPAC like a dog. That was the answer that Pete Buttigieg just gave.
No, I mean, that's exactly right. And what's actually pretty incredible about the reaction to his appearance on Pod Save America is that the same kind of talking points and BS, like focus group tested statements, don't fly anymore. Like you can see through it right away. And so an empty suit like Pete Buttigieg, right? The kind of politician that's like created in a lab is gonna keep flailing. And I'm happy to see it because he doesn't represent anything. There's no moral core there, right? Someone who wants to be a public servant, I mean, in an ideal world, would sign up for that kind of role in society because they want to serve the people. They have guiding principles, they have values, they have morals. You look at Pete Buttigieg, what are his values? What are his morals? What does he represent other than I have to play ball and do these empty, hollow statements at a time when innocent people are literally being slaughtered with US taxpayer money? So let me give you some.
He works for Israel. If you vote for him, you ought to have your head examined. He's not going to represent America at all. His answer is crystal clear.
It is.
No, I don't think the Palestinians should exist because I get bribed to the tune of millions of dollars by the Israeli lobby.
And he looks weak, honestly.
He looks pathetic.
He looks super pathetic. Okay, like what is that? Like, do you think the facial hair makes you seem like tougher, manlier,
Yeah, I told
stronger?
you they were gonna faux populist. He's like, oh yeah, I'm wearing
the flannel shirt.
I'm not wearing the suit anymore. I'm wearing the flannel shirt and I got a beard. Israel's awesome. Send me more money. Israel's great. You're the same guy, dude.
Okay, so here are some more clips because over the weekend, Pod Save America did interview Pete Buttigieg on a variety of topics, one of which, of course, was Israel and Gaza. And there's so many more non-answers in the Israel-Gaza portion of the conversation. So let's start with the rest of his answer on the possibility of a two-state solution.
Many of the people who have taken that step historically have done so for different reasons than what we see happening with European countries. I think we need to step back and we need to do whatever it takes to ensure that there is a real two-state solution and that no one, not even the likes of Netanyahu, can veto the international community's commitment to a two-state solution where you have Palestinians and Israelis living with safety, with security, with rights. I believe that can happen, but we have to actually show some commitment to it.
What are you talking about? Anytime the Security Council votes on anything that leans in the pro-Palestinian direction, the United States vetoes it. Every single time, literally every single time. Any ownership of that? Any statement on that? Of course not. And over the weekend, Australia became the latest country to state that they would recognize a Palestinian state if certain conditions were met, joining Britain, Canada, and France, which of course have made similar commitments. In the United States, Representative Ro Khanna is attempting to make that happen. I hope he has a significant security detail considering the fact that Israel loves to assassinate people, including American citizens. Go ahead, Jane.
Yeah, so they asked him a clear question, an easy question, very straightforward. Should Palestine exist? Blah, 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 Harvard word salad, as Anna put it this morning, okay? Oh, it's a profound question that arouses a lot of blah, 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 blah. And then later he goes to a two-state solution. Wait, if you're for a two-state solution, why didn't you just say, of course Palestine should exist?
Yeah.
Because you're not for a two-state solution. That's just empty talk that they do, the politicians do. Oh, I checked it off. The consultants said to say that I'm in favor of a two-state solution, check. Okay, they also said treat Palestinians like dirt and don't recognize their right to exist, check. Okay, oh, speaking of checks, AIPAC, send me money, okay? So guys, there's a silver lining here, but I don't know if it's real, right? I think it's real, but I'm not sure yet, which is what Anna said earlier. Now everybody's getting caught. Right? So before, Buttigieg would give that answer and everybody on cable news and New York Times and Washington Post would declare him genius of all geniuses. What a brilliant, beautiful, moving answer by the greatly educated Pete Buttigieg, all bowed down to Buttigieg, right? And cable news in their maniacal out of touchness is still doing that crap. Okay, mainstream media is still doing it. But for the rest of us out here in the woods, now the woods are much, much larger. We used to be smaller, they used to be bigger, right? Now, they're getting lost in the woods. And the woods are going, nah, we see you all, man. We see you. That was him saying, I'll serve Israel. And the Palestinians will never get a state if Buttigieg is elected. If you still fall for their crap, okay, anyway. So I wanna ask this question because it's an important question. It's in our live chat. We do the show live at 6 o'clock Eastern every day. Would you support a Dem in 2028 who would send weapons to Israel? So that, look, I don't like litmus tests, but I have one that's you can't take corporate PAC money, otherwise we can't trust you. And now I'm going to add another. I agree with you guys, 83% saying, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't trust anyone who's sending weapons to any genocidal government, right?
I actually think it's really important to also make taking any money from the Israel lobby. Notice I'm not just saying AIPAC, any money from the Israel lobby at all, toxic.
Yes.
Any candidate, any politician, anyone running for re-election who has taken $1 from the Israel lobby, they should be made pariahs and no one will vote for them.
Yeah, so that's the second litmus test I'm gonna add, and for a logical reason. It's not to single them out. It's corporate PACs run our government, but now you see so do foreign government PACs. So all the Israeli lobby is for Israel. Even if they collected from American citizens, they are proudly declaring this is to help another government.
Yep.
This is so the American taxpayers could have their money taken, their troops taken, their morals taken, all of that stripped away from you and given to a foreign government. So yes, if you take Israeli lobby money, obviously no one should vote for you. And you should vote them out in your own primaries, whether you're Republican or Democrat, because anyone who takes AIPAC type of money is saying, I serve Israel. You can't say, oh, I took $1 million from AIPAC, but trust me, I prioritize America over Israel. I don't trust you. And I say the same thing if you take money from oil companies or defense contractors. I don't trust you at all. And honestly, you'd have to be a moron or a mainstream media reporter to trust a politician telling me, oh, I'm taking $1 million from a PAC, but trust me, I don't work for them. No, you work for them. And if you work for a foreign government, you should not be an American representative.
100%, and the occupation. All right, so Buttigieg was also asked about the fact that a majority of Senate Democrats voted to block a weapons sale to Israel and how he would vote on that type of measure. Let's take a look.
I think we need to insist that if American taxpayer funding is going to weaponry that is going to Israel, that is not going to things that shock the conscience. And look, we see images every day that shock the conscience. So much of this is complicated, but what's not complicated is that if a child is starving because of a choice made by a government, that is unconscionable. And I think especially including voices who care about Israel, who believe in Israel's right to exist, who have stood with Israel in response to the unbelievable cruelty and terrorism of October 7th. I think there's a reason why so many of those voices are speaking up now too, because this is not just something that is on its face and in itself a moral catastrophe. It is also a catastrophe for Israel for the long run.
The measure that Senate Democrats voted in favor of obviously didn't pass because they don't have the supermajority necessary to pass legislation in the Senate, but nonetheless, only had to do with offensive weaponry. And the answer, I don't think needed to be as complicated as Buttigieg made it, because it's not that complicated. The answer was no. I mean, yes, I would vote in favor of that measure. I would not send offensive weaponry to Israel. But the word salad tells you everything you need to know. I mean, let me just give you some of the comments in response to this interview. Real quick, because it has to do with what he said right there. Let's go to graphic 2. The response to the Palestinian statehood question was a textbook non-answer. If you are hesitant to give straightforward answers, explain your hesitation. Do not tell us how important the question is. So that was in regard to the statehood. Hearing Pete on Gaza was unsurprising and very disappointing. I really wish Jon, meaning Jon Favreau, the host of the show, had pushed back. There need to be real consequences for Israel committing genocide on the dime of the US taxpayer. Like another commenter said, he's a great communicator, so great that you might miss him refusing to say that he wouldn't have voted against continuing to send weapons to fund this massive ethnic cleansing campaign. You're here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cenk.
So look, I guarantee you that if Pete Buttigieg is president, he will send Israel every single dollar that they ask for. He will never dissent from Israel. He is a creation of the donor class. And the donor class, a huge portion of it, definitely not all of it, guys. He will serve any donor. You're a drug company who's robbing us blind, Pete Buttigieg is your guy. He's the corporate robot whose job is to represent the donor class. So will he do what the donor class wants and send our money to Israel? It's an absolute guarantee. You'd be the biggest sucker in the world if you thought that's not the case. I'm gonna translate one quick thing that he said. He said, we're gonna insist on it not going to things that would shock the conscience, okay? What he means by that is, I'll do something cosmetic like, we won't fund your 2,000-pound bombs anymore, because those are, they just wipe out a whole neighborhood. Right?
I mean, they don't even need those anymore. They've already wiped out.
Because all of Gaza is already wiped out, right? So he'll do something like that. Oh my God, it shocked my conscience. I didn't send them the 200-pound bomb, but I send them the 4 billion every year, and I sent them the 20 billion they wanted in the middle of a genocide. I sent them this. So his lies are now pretty obvious. Like before, people believed Buttigieg's lies. I learned Norwegian to read this book I really like. And then a Norwegian reporter talks to him in Norwegian. He's like, he's such a liar.
I know.
The only people who believe him are idiots on cable news, okay?
Real quick, I want to put the graphic of how much money he's taken from AIPAC that we know about. So that's graphic number 4, just going to the point that you were making. He has taken in nearly $200,000 from AIPAC.
And if he runs for president, that'll be 2 million. If he becomes president, that'll be 20 million.
Yeah.
So that's how this game is played. I'm gonna read one last quote from Ro Khanna. He said, I respect Pete, but we need moral clarity, not status quo. Yes, Jon Favs, Dems should have voted for the Sanders amendment. Yes, Dems should join my letter recognizing a Palestinian state. Yes, Trump and Biden disastrously failed on Gaza, and we need a new human rights centered vision. So look, guys, there's only a couple of honest Congresspeople left, and Ro Khanna is definitively one of them. And they're going to, by the way, he's also going to do a press conference on September 3rd with Thomas Massie with the Epstein victims. All mainstream media can't find the victims. So they're like, okay, we found them. Here they are. We're going to do a press conference, etc. He's working, Massie's working, a couple other guys are. The rest of them are all crooks. So I'm so glad that that's an ally of ours. Someone, I can't believe there's an honest person in Congress. Yeah. We found him, but it definitely ain't Pete Buttigieg. And do not get tricked by the establishment, and do not get tricked by hucksters telling you, you know what? The real alliance we need to make is not with independents, not with honest, decent people not taking PAC money. We need to make an alliance with corrupt corporate Democrats. No, that's a disastrous alliance. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.